This morning, a Supreme Court stalking case. What authorities say he did that landed him behind bars.
Plus, a warning from the governor why Wisconsin's food share program could run out of money soon and what families should do now.
And winter is coming. We'll have an expert prediction on what you can expect this season.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3. Now this morning on your Wednesday, October 22nd.
Boy.
Already.
22nd of October. Time's flying by.
Yeah, not many days left of October, and it's definitely starting to feel like it.
I know, yesterday especially, it was cruddy out there. Let's see what we got in store for today. We got Jacob Montesano in for Savannah Burrito this morning. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Chris. We're going to see similar conditions to yesterday, minus the rain. So some good news, but still pretty gloomy today. Look at the current radar. There are still a few sprinkles, and in general, the best chance of these light sprinkles will be for areas to the northeast of Madison, but everyone will see continuous cloud cover for most of the day. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine, especially for areas in southwest Wisconsin. And again, a few sprinkles are possible, but in general, we're not going to see much. And then we'll see partly cloudy skies in the overnight hours, and that will lead to some pretty chilly lows. Now, taking a look at the temperatures right now, because of the cloudy skies over this past night, we are seeing low temperatures actually a little bit above normal compared to the average low, but these temperatures are not going to rise much today, and a big reason for that are these northwesterly winds. Right now, sustained winds up near 10 to 20 miles per hour for everybody, gusts near 25 to 30 miles per hour, and that's going to continue throughout the entire day. So looking at the bus stop forecast, cloudy skies with some breezy weather and temperatures in the 40s right now. And that is basically going to be the forecast for later in the afternoon when they're heading home. So for the most part, it's going to be a cool one. Temperatures will warm up a little bit later in the week, but we actually could see even colder overnight lows later in the week. And I'll talk more about that and talk about our possible first freeze of the season a little bit later in the week. So those details will be coming up a bit later.
Jacob, thank you. Now to our top story this morning, deja vu in Washington. The Senate is set to vote for the 12th time today to end the government shutdown.
Oh, for now, 22 days running here. Agencies have been closed. Federal employees and contractors either furloughed or working without a paycheck. Lawmakers are working on separate bills to restore some pay, but disagreement continues over health care costs and reopening negotiations. Tomorrow, the Senate could take up a GOP bill that would allow some federal workers, like active duty military, to get paid. And a source also confirmed to CBS News that Senate Democrats are working on a bill to pay all federal employees.
Republicans may not have time to fix people's health care, but apparently they got plenty of time for a mini pep rally with Donald Trump.
We're hopeful that this will be the week when we break out of this and the Democrats come to their senses.
Today's Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he plans to bring up the House GOP's clean bill to reopen the government through mid-November.
Meanwhile, here at home, Governor Tony Evers says Wisconsin's food share program will run out of funding in just 10 days if the federal government shutdown continues. The program provides food assistance to nearly 700,000 Wisconsinites. Evers says even if Congress reaches a deal this week, there will likely still be delays getting November benefits to families. The state's DHS secretary is urging people with remaining benefits to stock up on canned goods and boxed items before the end of the month.
Now to new video of a car crash that killed one person and injured 4 others near McFarland. It happened around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. The State Patrol says an SUV headed south went off the road, rolled several times, and went through the median. It landed on the northbound side of the interstate, shutting down traffic for over 3 hours. Authorities have yet to identify the victims.
A Racine man is charged with stalking Wisconsin Supreme Court Chief Justice Jill Karofsky. A criminal complaint says that between August 2nd and October 16th, 37-year-old Ryan Thornton sent multiple emails to the Chief Justice, including one asking for her home address. Prosecutors say his behavior caused serious emotional distress and had a reasonable fear of bodily injury or death to herself or her family. And police arrested Thornton on October 16th and then booked him into the Dane County Jail. During the booking, a Capitol Police sergeant reported Thornton made several comments about Karofsky, including saying she was going down. Capitol Police say Thornton was upset after the state Supreme Court rejected his appeal in a domestic abuse conviction. The court's public information officer released a statement to News 3 Now saying in part, quote, ensuring that members of the public, along with judges, court staff, and all who serve in the justice system are able to carry out their business in our courts safely and without fear is a top priority for the Chief Justice and the entire court system. We deeply value our strong partnerships with Capitol Police and local law enforcement to maintain secure court environments.
Now to new information about a road rage incident in Madison. Police say someone involved may have fired a gun. Police responded to Cottage Grove Road and Stoughton Roads just after 8 o'clock Saturday night. A driver reported a pickup truck was driving behind her closely. She says she heard some popping noises. No one got hurt. There's no damage to any property. But if you have any information, authorities want you to contact Madison area Crime Stoppers.
Now to the latest in the ceasefire deal. The oldest hostage taken by Hamas on October 7th, 2023 is among 2 deceased hostages returned to Israel.
Now, Zalmanovich was kidnapped from his home and believed to have been killed in captivity last November. The second hostage, Tamir Adair, from the same kibbutz, died defending it during the initial attack. Their remains were transferred to Israel for identification, bringing the total to 15 deceased hostages returned under the current ceasefire agreement. Israeli defense officials now urging Hamas to fulfill the deal and return all remaining hostages. Meantime, Vice President J.D. Vance arriving in Israel yesterday, reaffirming America's support and asking for patience in the effort to bring home every hostage. Vance says some remain buried under the rubble and that the process won't happen overnight. North Korea's latest missile launch has regional tensions on edge this morning. South Korea's military says a ballistic missile was fired towards the east, but details are scarce this morning. It comes as North Korea continues to defy an international ban on ballistic missile development, a ban supported by the U.S. and South Korea. The timing is significant. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping are set to visit South Korea next week.
Education Department officials say they are exploring moving special education programs to another federal agency. A department spokesperson says they are considering partnerships to support the programs, but no agreements have been finalized. The consideration comes after multiple sources reported that the department laid off nearly all staff overseeing special education. The layoffs largely hit the office that supports programs that serve millions of people with disabilities. Education Secretary Linda McMahon has previously made it clear she plans to shut down the department and return education to the states.
6:06 now. Fond du Lac County District Attorney Eric Toney will try again for Wisconsin's Attorney General. In his announcement, Toney says that he intends to prioritize public safety over politics, restore state crime lab accountability, and confront the fentanyl crisis. Current Attorney General Josh Kaul beat Toney by 35,000 votes in 2022, 4 years ago.
In other news, we're just 2 days away from handing out coats for kids, bringing our 2025 campaign to a close. Distribution day is this Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Volunteers will give out nearly 5,000 coats to local families in need this winter. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County still needs volunteers to help sort, transfer, and distribute the coats this week. Volunteers are needed at these locations: the McKenzie Family Club in Sun Prairie, the Erica and Anthony Fleming Club in Madison, and the Allied Family Center in Fitchburg. You can find more details, plus sign up for volunteer shifts through the link on channel3000.com.
Well, winter is a few weeks away. Some people are going to need that warm coat. AccuWeather officials say this season intense winter storms are expected for various areas, including the Midwest. Some cities, including Boston and Philadelphia, are forecast to see more snow than usual. While the winter season officially starts December 21st, meteorological winter starts on December 1st. You ready for it?
No, the fall just started. Can we get through that first?
I want to embrace and enjoy the fall while it's here too. I would like for winter to just, pump the brakes a little bit. And it seems like that's the case. It seemed like for a second yesterday, Jacob, that it was about to snow. I mean, I don't know, with the wind chills and the precipitation in the air, it just felt like it wasn't that far away from snowing. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I mean, temperature-wise, it wasn't far off at all. But I do want to point out, for those of you that may be wondering, there is not really any chance of snow in the forecast. But what we are going to see are those breezy winds continue today, and we're going to continue to see some pretty cool temperatures over the next couple of days. And looking specifically at the temperatures, they are going to drop into the 30s later tonight. So 40s for today. Again, the cloudy skies will keep temperatures from rising all that much, but then we'll start to see some clearer skies later tonight, but that will lead to those temperatures dropping into the middle and lower 30s. There is a frost advisory in effect for most of the area, Madison and areas to the west, as we will see potentially frost for everybody, but especially frost for those areas to the west. But tonight won't actually be the coldest night of the week. I'll talk more about even colder temperatures later, coming up a bit later.
Jacob, thank you. Still ahead, the healing power of a mother's touch, plus the impact antidepressants can have on your health.
And the Thanksgiving basket drive begins today. Ahead, our Josh Breider shows us how you can help.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:12 in the 6:08 this morning. We're kicking off our Thanksgiving basket drive in partnership with the Goodman Community Center.
Our Josh Breider is live in Madison with how you can help. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Yeah, it is a big week here at the Goodman Center. Thanksgiving is over a month away, but the time is now to make a difference this year. We're in their pantry learning how you can help make a difference in the 608. And joining us today is Florence Edwards-Miller. Florence, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. We're really excited.
Yes, this is a big week for you guys. And to put this into perspective, you guys put out the registrations yesterday,
Yes.
and in record time, it filled up. We say this year after year, but this was another record.
5 hours.
Wow.
Last year, we were amazed when we hit our registration cap after just over 24 hours. Our minds were blown. This year, 5 hours. It just goes to show how much need there is and how much food insecurity is in our community. So many people need assistance, and for 37 years, that's what we've been here for with the Thanksgiving Basket Drive. We are giving 4,000 families all the food that they need to cook their own Thanksgiving dinner at home. It's amazing.
And we're giving folks an example of just how easy it is. These are the ingredients. We know what it takes, but for a lot of families, it's hard to get these.
Yeah, this is what we're asking the public to donate. So it's a whole bunch of food. We gather it all together in November on a couple of days. We load it into their cars, but we need help. We need this, folks, to go out, shop for this, drop it off starting the 15th of November, or you can give a donation. We'll do the shopping, but we also buy, fresh food, milk, eggs, and such, and that's what donations help us with. But we ask people to bring the turkey, the broth, the oil, boxed mac and cheese, stuffing, canned food, gravy, all the good stuff.
And it's important to note that no donation is too small for what
No.
you guys can do.
No, this year is going to be what we are anticipating our toughest year ever. So every single can, every packet of gravy, every dollar is really going to help. We need to get more people involved. With inflation, we know it's going to be harder this year. So that's why we're talking to you right now, and we're really hoping that your viewers can get out there and help us and help give those 4,000 families the food that they need.
It may be weird to be talking about Thanksgiving in the middle of October, but
Yeah.
you guys have to start ahead of time just because of how much of a need there is.
Yeah, and that's the way the program sort of has to work. We do our registration because people need to know where their Thanksgiving dinner is coming from. It's not fair to leave them hanging until we get all the food in. So we make a promise to the community. We say, we think we can bring in the food for 4,000 families, and we registered them yesterday, and now we've got to make it happen.
And yeah, we've got plenty of time to do so, but we need the public's help. So if people are interested, again, how can they help you guys out?
So the easiest way, go to our website, goodmancenter.org/Thanksgiving. And that'll take them right to the page that gives them all the options. It's really easy. You can donate food. You can download the shopping list, take it with you, throw an extra can or two in your grocery cart, bring it to us starting on the 15th of November. Or you can donate money if you just want to make it easy. Or if you're really going for extra points, you can start a food drive at your work, your church, for your neighbors, and collect a whole bunch of food and bring it over to us. It's actually, the drop-off is pretty fun.
Oh, plenty of ways to be able to help too, Florence. Thank you so much for your time this morning. The time is now to make a difference. We appreciate it. And if you'd like to learn more, News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of the event, so you can go to the story app on channel3000.com. I have all the links that Florence was talking about, so we're also making it super easy for you this Thanksgiving.
All right, let's do it, Josh. Can't do it without the folks at home. Thanks, buddy.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email us.
All right, check in with Jacob Montesano now. Gusty out there again today?
Yeah, right now we're seeing wind gusts up again near 25 to 30 miles per hour, and this is going to continue for much of the day, and the winds will be out of the northwest, which will again prevent those temperatures from rising much today. Now the winds are going to calm down overnight, not going to be as windy for the rest of the week, but that will actually allow temperatures to drop even further down during the overnight hours. We actually will see a little bit warmer temperatures during the daytime. So for today, 40s throughout the day with the partly cloudy skies tonight, leading to temperatures dropping into the middle and lower 30s. And we'll continue to see partly cloudy skies throughout the day on Thursday, which will allow temperatures to rise into the lower 50s. Still below normal, but a little bit better than today. And then clear skies are expected Thursday night, which will really help drop those temperatures, possibly all the way down into the upper 20s for some areas. And a lot of southern Wisconsin has not seen a below freezing temperature yet this season. This very well could be our first freeze. Now we have a frost advisory in effect for tonight, 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. Thursday for Madison and areas to the west. I do expect to see another frost advisory, if not freeze warnings, for Thursday night into Friday once we get to tomorrow. Now, as we take a look at when we normally see the first freeze of the season, we are definitely late. The average is October 11th. The earliest we've ever seen a freeze in Madison is September 12th, and the latest is November 12th. Now, I'm pretty confident we are going to see that Thursday night, but if we don't, we may not see it until closer towards the start of November. But again, very likely that we will see it Thursday night. But even if we do, we actually will be later than the last 5 years. The latest is October 22nd, which that's today. So definitely going to be a little bit late in that department, which is not surprising considering how warm it has been for much of the month. Now, as we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, pretty dry for the end of the week, so that is definitely some good news. And the daytime temperatures will warm up throughout the week. Highs will be near 60 over the weekend. And then we are going to see some rain return early next week, which will at least briefly keep the overnight lows in the 40s. But I mean, looking at the temperatures going forward, the warmest high will only be near 60 and the warmest low will be in the middle 40s. So if that doesn't tell you that these fall temperatures are here and are going to stick around, then I mean, I don't know what does. It's definitely going to feel like fall over the next 10 days.
Yeah, a nice fall weekend ahead for us. All right, thank you, buddy. In your Morning Health Watch, if you have any unused or expired meds, Saturday is National Drug Take-Back Day. 13 locations across Dane County are going to accept household prescriptions, over-the-counter meds, and even pet medications. In Madison, drop-off will be at Elver Park, Warner Park, and Mount Zion Baptist Church from 10 to 2. Proper disposal prevents misuse, protects the environment, and keeps medication out of the wrong hands. For a full list of the sites and times, just visit safecommunities.org.
How antidepressants affect the body can vary widely based on which one you take. A study in The Lancet found different drugs impact a patient's heart rate, blood pressure, and weight in different ways. For example, some common antidepressants are linked to weight gain, while others are linked to weight loss. But researchers stress these findings shouldn't deter people from taking antidepressants.
New evidence about the health benefits of a mother's touch. A Cochrane review of previous studies found newborns who have skin-to-skin contact with their mom in the first hour after birth have more success breastfeeding and optimal body temperatures and blood sugar levels. Skin-to-skin contact keeps infants warm and reduces stress, helping them adapt to life outside the womb.
Well, still ahead this Thanksgiving, chocolate isn't just for dessert. A look at how the main dish is breaking all the rules.
Also ahead in our next half hour, road construction in the Dells, the potential impact on tourism. Hey, we're back. Take a look at what Gwen saw out in the field. Some albino deer recently. Cool photo. I don't know if I've ever seen any of these in person.
Yeah, I agree. I've never seen a white deer in general.
No.
Let alone in person, not even in photos. So that's pretty awesome.
That's what I said. This is pretty cool.
Thanks for sharing, Gwen.
Well, here's what's trending this morning. So Thanksgiving is right around the corner and is getting a bold twist this year. So take a look at this, guys. Reynolds is introducing a Dubai chocolate turkey, blending rich chocolate and pistachios with spiced roasted turkey and all the little crunchy pieces that you get in the Dubai chocolate. Officials say using Reynolds Wrap heavy duty foil or turkey oven bags makes cooking easier for home chefs. They say they just wanted to, change it up, get on board with this trend. Would you guys try it?
I mean, I'm all for making turkey taste a little bit better. It's kind of one of the more blander meats, but I'd give it a try. I don't know how much money it is, but I wouldn't know if I'd spend money on the entire turkey.
Here's an idea. Just use some Hershey syrup.
And smother it on the turkey.
Smother it on the turkey.
I want you to give your father-in-law that
recommendation. You crush up some planters.
When I was a kid, I actually
sprinkle it on there.
Not the planters.
There you go.
Not
Bada bing, bada boom.
What I was gonna say is, when I was a kid, I actually would put turkey and honey and eat it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, honey
well, I guess there
glazed.
is like honey. Yeah. there's
My
like
wife
honey
thinks
glazed.
that's disgusting, so I'm glad you guys weren't too disgusted by that idea.
Because there's like honey smoked turkey and all those
Yeah.
out there. So, hey, I mean, it could have been good.
It was good at the time. I eat with gravy now.
Well, all right. Well, you see, you grew up a little bit. It's
Exactly.
good. We'll take a look at this. The mullet is back in the spotlight. I don't know if it ever left. This seems to be a trend lately.
Believe me, it left for a while.
Did you ever have a mullet? Did you ever have a mullet?
Never in a million years would I have thought the mullet would come back into popularity.
Well, here it is.
But
This North Central Wisconsin boys cashing in. Colton Gall from Phillips won first place in the 2025 Kids Division of the Mullet Championship. So he raised over $3,500 for Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors. And he won a grand prize of $10,000.
look at that.
$10,000 for a mullet. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. That's solid.
The upkeep of a mullet seems to be.
Billy Ray Cyrus
look
would be
at that.
proud.
How long yeah, don't let me get started this morning. Good song, right?
All right, hey, Jacob's tracking a freeze in the forecast. That's going to be coming
this week.
I remember that I was hoping more.
This morning we have new video of a deadly interstate crash.
Plus, some UW-Madison students are fighting back over the university's decision to cut a popular language program.
And there's a slew of new construction projects set to get underway. We'll tell you the impact for your morning commute.
Hey, good Wednesday morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Hope your day is off to a great start.
Yeah, just a little cool out there. We're looking at some drier, cooler weather ahead. Jacob Montesano in for Savannah Burrito this morning. You got the radar pulled up. Anything going on out there?
Well, we're seeing a few light sprinkles here and there, and that may continue at times today, but in general, we're not expecting a lot of rainfall, which is kind of the only good news of the day. Now, looking at the forecast throughout the day, we're going to continue to see those cloudy skies, a few light showers, especially for areas to the northeast of Madison, but most of the region should be dry, and if there is rain, it'll be very light and likely very brief. Now, temperatures right now, they are in the lower 40s, and compared to the average low, they're actually a little bit above normal, but because of the cloudy skies and the wind that we're seeing, wind speeds between 10 to 20 miles per hour, temperatures are going to be very consistent pretty much all day. So as we take a look at the bus stop forecast, 40s with cloudy skies and breezy conditions this morning, and that's going to be pretty much the exact same throughout the entire day. So not ideal conditions, but it is going to get a little bit better towards the end of the week. I'll talk more about that, but also talk about potentially our first freeze of the season coming up a bit later.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Now to new video of a car crash that killed one person and injured 4 others.
Wisconsin State Patrol say the SUV involved was traveling southbound when it entered the median and rolled several times. State Patrol say it happened around 4:30 yesterday afternoon on I-3990 near McFarland. Parts of the highway were temporarily closed during the evening rush. An investigation is ongoing.
This morning, a Milwaukee homicide suspect is behind bars after Baraboo officers received a credible tip that the suspect was seeking medical attention. After verifying that tip with Milwaukee police, law enforcement in Baraboo where it was able to take Walter Lorenzo Jones into custody without incident. Jones faces charges of first-degree reckless homicide and possessing a firearm as a convicted felon.
Also this morning, the Janesville teacher accused of making sexually explicit comments about students is now facing new charges. On September 12th, Adam Till was arrested after police say he had an exchange of sexually explicit text with an undercover agent posing as the father of an 8-year-old girl. Investigators say they also flagged over 4,000 possible child sexual abuse materials on Till's phone. He now faces 10 counts of possession of child sexual abuse materials. His preliminary hearing is set for Tuesday. Now to some national headlines this morning. NATO General Secretary Mark Rutte is set to meet with President Trump in the Oval Office today.
It comes just days after Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky met with Trump to talk about possibly receiving some Tomahawk missiles. Zelensky later said that Trump turned down that request because those missiles would be able to hit Moscow. However, Zelensky also said that the Russian interest in diplomatic ends faded when the missile discussions were put on the table. Some observers agree, saying the battlefield and negotiating table are connected.
I do think we can change Putin's calculus, that he will realize that the price he has to pay to control Ukraine is too high.
Rutte is also expected to meet with members of the Senate NATO Observer Group, who are actively considering a bill to impose new Russian sanctions. Today's meeting also comes just hours after a Russian air attack killed at least 2 people in Ukraine's capital of Kyiv. Kyiv's mayor says multiple residential high-rises were hit in the attack, with some of them catching fire.
The New York Times is reporting that President Trump is asking for the DOJ to pay him $230 million in compensation over their investigations into him. The Times reports Trump submitted the complaints against the Department of Justice through an administrative claims process that's often a precursor to a lawsuit. Any potential settlement may have to be approved by people Trump appointed during his second term in office. Trump says he could donate any taxpayer money or use it to help pay for a ballroom he's building at the White House.
This morning, Oregon's asking a federal judge to get California's National Guard out of Portland. It comes 3 days after a judge stopped President Trump from deploying Oregon's National Guard. About 100 National Guard troops have already arrived in Oregon. Trump says that their purpose is to protect ICE agents and federal property amid what he calls violent protests. California and the city of Portland joining the motion, and California Governor Gavin Newsom is planning his own lawsuit over the deployment as well.
This comes as a new poll suggests the message behind the No Kings rallies is resonating with the American public. The survey from the Public Religion Research Institute gave people 2 options on if they thought President Trump was a dictator. 56% of Americans chose the dictator option, and 41% chose the strong leader option. The poll also showed 54% agreed with the view that Trump is waging an assault on constitutional balances and the rule of law. That is compared to the 43% who agreed with the statement that his overhaul of the government was a long overdue correction.
A shortage of air traffic controllers working overnight impacted thousands of flights across the country. That's according to the latest public operations plan from the FAA. Delays were reported at Chicago's O'Hare, Newark Liberty International, and Houston's George Bush Intercontinental. LA and Jacksonville also understaffed. The cause, air traffic control problems, not immediately clear, but last week Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy did say that some workers are taking unscheduled time off during the government shutdown. Turning now to some more local news. UW-Madison's sign language classes are facing cuts and students are pushing back.
The university ordered all schools to plan for 5% budget cuts back in June. Students say the already full ASL classes could drop from 5 to just 3 sections next year. They're also concerned one of the 2 professors might lose his contract.
That's why we need to preserve the program so that students can learn ASL and connect more with the deaf and hard of hearing students here at UW.
The associate dean says the university remains committed to offering 4 ASL courses. Only 1 section will be removed from next year's schedule. ASL was first taught at UW-Madison in fall 2023, making it one of the university's newest language offerings among more than 60 courses.
Happening today, John Patterson officially takes over as Madison's top cop. A 27-year veteran of the force, Patterson has served in every district in the city and has held roles from patrol officer to assistant chief. He holds degrees from UW-Madison and Edgewood College. He believes in police as community caretakers and aims to strengthen trust and collaboration. His swearing-in ceremony is at 4 o'clock this afternoon at the Black Business Hub on South Park Street.
Taking a live look now at the Beltline near Perry Street, where a new bridge is being proposed to help better connect South Madison neighborhoods with businesses and jobs on the other side of the highway. Tonight, city officials will share possible bridge routes, explain how it could improve safety and traffic flow, and take public feedback before moving forward with design plans. The meeting will take place at 6 p.m. via Zoom. You can register on the City of Madison's website.
Well, here's something a lot of folks are looking forward to as we give you an update on construction in Middleton. Road work is wrapping up on a lot of those projects. This Friday, reconstruction is set to be finished on Parmenter Street. Paving, landscaping, and new trees are going in with final markings and touch-ups that are left. And then the High Road project is expected to wrap up next Wednesday.
And in the Dells, construction along Highway 12 has picked up. The proposed plan looks to improve road conditions while also adding lanes to decrease traffic, which has led to the movement of some of the Dells' iconic resort signs to be removed.
The signs that have come down are just, that's a temporary thing. They're getting moved back. It's going to be 5 lanes, able to handle more traffic flow. And we think that's great, because ultimately it's going to make Wisconsin Dells safer for the visitors and for the residents, and just a better experience for everyone.
Officials say that there's been no effect on tourism in the Dells. Construction is expected to last until 2028.
Food scrap season is wrapping up in Madison. You still have a chance to help the city meet its goal. The city accepts food scraps from April to October, which are then delivered to a local farm and composted for fertilizer. Then, in a true full circle moment, The crops grown using that compost are put up for sale at the farmers market on the south side. The final drop-off day at the East and South Side Farmers Market is next Tuesday. The last day for the West Side Community Market is the Saturday after next. You can find times for each location's drop-off at cityofmadison.com. There you can also find other nearby places that accept food scraps year-round, so you can keep it going.
Nobody won the Mega Millions last night, meaning roughly $680 million is up for grabs this morning. This is the 9th largest jackpot in its history. However, check your tickets because lottery officials say more than 400,000 tickets won some prize. The lottery's next drawing is Friday night.
There you go. Getting up there again. Yeah, you think you'll buy a ticket? Do you ever buy lottery tickets?
I know. I bought like a couple when I was 18 just because I was like, now I can buy a ticket. But I haven't like actually played like Mega Millions, Powerball, or anything like that before. So
somebody's got to win.
Yeah, somebody. Try your luck. Well, let's check in with Jacob, who's trying our luck with these cold temperatures. Goodness.
Yeah, not going to be a very pleasant day. The only good news compared to yesterday is that we're not really going to see much, if any, rainfall today. Maybe a few light sprinkles, but for the most part, cloudy skies, temperatures staying in the 40s with breezy conditions throughout the entire day. This is going to be the case for everybody. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine in southwest Wisconsin, maybe some temperatures near 50, but again, staying relatively cool. And as we take a look at the almanac, we're going to be about 10 degrees below normal in terms of the high temperature, but the cloudy skies have actually helped keep the low temperature above normal, with the average low already supposed to be in the upper 30s. Now, we are going to be in the 30s later tonight as we see the skies become partly to mostly clear, with middle to lower 30s, especially for areas to the west of Madison. And then we'll continue to see partly cloudy skies for Thursday with highs back in the lower 50s. Still below normal, but certainly better. But then Thursday night is going to be even cooler, so I'll talk more about that and talk about our next chance of rain coming up a bit later.
All right, sounds good, Jacob. To the Bucks now. They, believe it or not, tip off their season tonight. The team is slated to take on the Wizards at Pfizer Forum. 7 o'clock tip-off. You can watch it on the FanDuel Sports Network.
Well, they're not looking too bad, but
you got a chance to see him practice in person over the weekend.
Yes, so yeah, it got that energy going for them. So hopefully they can get over that hump that they've been dealing with.
Yeah, they need to turn it around.
Then it'll start filling up.
Well, coming up, the Thanksgiving basket drive begins today. Still ahead, our Josh Breider shows us how you can help in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. In the 608, we're kicking off our Thanksgiving basket drive today in partnership with the Goodman Community Center.
Josh Breider is live. Gobble, gobble, buddy. How can the folks at home help?
Good morning. Hey, it's Thanksgiving basket drive time, and you know that means I got to wear the turkey costume, but we got to start small. I'm not going all out until we get some of those donations in here to the Goodman Community Center. Joining us this morning is Florence Edwards-Miller. Florence, good morning to you.
Hey, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for getting back in the costume.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm going to dress up as a turkey anytime I can, especially when it comes to a good cause such as this.
Thank you so much. Yes, this is the kickoff for our Thanksgiving basket drive. We are giving 4,000 families all of the food that they need to cook their own Thanksgiving dinner at home. The turkey, the gravy, the stuffing, everything good. But we really need help because we can't do it alone.
You know, this week put it into perspective for you guys. You opened up the registrations yesterday, and once again, in record time, those registrations filled up.
Yeah, it was pretty sobering. So last year, we were amazed when we opened registration to the public and we filled after only 24 hours. That was the fastest it had ever done. Yesterday, 5 hours. 5 hours, and we'd received all 4,000 registrations that we could take, and we had to close it.
So there's a big need, and that's why we need the community's help to once again come in and make a difference.
Yeah, food insecurity is at really terrible portions in our community. But the good news is that there are things that we can do to help. So it is within all of our power. All of us, we can go out when we're going to the grocery store. If you've got the means, throw an extra can in, throw an extra box of mac and cheese, or download our shopping list and get everything that a family is going to need. And in November 15th, they can bring it here, drop it off, and our volunteers will put it all together.
And I think that's what's so amazing about this is it doesn't take a lot to make a difference, but for some of these families, that is a big ask.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people who times are hard. Rent is higher. Inflation is making grocery prices go way up. Being able to gather all this food to put a Thanksgiving dinner on the table, it's just out of reach for way too many people in our community. But for those of us who have the means, we can help.
So let's hit up some of those dates right now because people can't drop off those donations quite yet.
Not yet. We don't have the storage for them all, especially the turkeys. We actually bring in refrigerated trucks just for all 4,000 turkeys. But what you can do right now, you can go to our website, goodmancenter.org/Thanksgiving. You can download the shopping list and grab the non-perishable things. If you've got a bit of extra space in the chest freezer, throw in a turkey or two, and you can hang on to them. And starting on November 15th, we'll have drop-off days in our gymnasium. We take over the whole gym and stuff it with food. It's
and
fantastic.
That's when I go all out with the whole turkey costume, too.
I'm so looking forward to that.
But, you know, to put it into perspective, this is turkey number 1 of 4,000.
It's amazing. It's epic. They get very heavy, but we need folks to bring them out. Things are more expensive this year. So we're looking at this possibly being the most expensive Thanksgiving for us ever. So every dollar, every can, and every turkey really counts.
Every turkey, right here.
Every turkey.
Thank you, Florence, for your time this morning. We appreciate it. Now's the time to make a difference. If you'd like to help, you can go to the story up on channel3000.com. News 3 Now is once again a proud sponsor. I have all of the information, including links on how to help, on channel3000.com, guys. Sorry, I'm just distracted by this turkey that's hanging right over my eye line right now. You know I love a good turkey.
I can't wait till he goes all out. So we need those donations. Let's work together.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks, Josh. Hard to take him seriously with that thing.
With that turkey, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Josh is always looking for inspiration, though. If you have an idea for In the 608, reach out and let him know about it.
All right, Jacob, 3 things we need to know today. Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be breezy today. Gusts still up around 25 to 30 miles per hour, and temperatures are going to remain cool, not just for today, but for the next couple of days as well. The good news is that we're not really going to see much rain over the next few days. We are going to see more rain once we get to next week, though. Now, looking at the temperatures, they're going to stay in the 40s pretty much all day. Maybe some lower 50s in southwest Wisconsin, as there could be a little bit more sunshine for you folks. But for the most part, expect cloudy skies, but not a lot of rainfall, and breezy and cool conditions. For tonight, we'll start to see some partly cloudy skies, which will allow temperatures to drop into the middle and lower 30s, especially for areas to the west of Madison. Could see some areas drop below freezing. And then we'll continue to see partly cloudy skies for Thursday afternoon, which will allow temperatures to rise into the lower 50s, still a little bit below normal for this time of the year. And then as we get towards Thursday night, the temperatures are really going to drop, possibly into the upper 20s for a lot of the area. And if we don't see freezing temperatures tomorrow night, we have a very good chance to see it Thursday night. And a lot of southern Wisconsin has not seen temperatures hit freezing yet. This very well could be our first time. Now, we have a frost advisory in effect tonight from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. Thursday morning for Madison and areas to the west. Areas to the east could still see some frost, but there will be a little bit more frost as it will be a little bit cooler in the western portion of our area. Now, as far as the first freeze goes, we average it around October 11th for Madison, and it's been as late as November 12th. If we do see it Thursday night, well, obviously, we're still going to be later than normal no matter what, but even if we do see it on Thursday night, we are also going to be later than it has been for the last 5 years. The latest it's been over the last 5 years was in 2021 when the first freeze was on October 22nd, which is today. Again, that would be October 24th if it does occur early Friday morning. Now, as we take a look at the rain chances, we are going to see very little rainfall for the rest of the week, maybe some sprinkles today, but for the most part, we're going to dry up for the end of the week before more rain moves in early next week. And the temperatures will also warm up a little bit, so the weekend not looking too bad, all things considered. Maybe a small chance of rain Sunday into Monday, but a better chance of rain will start Monday night and continue into Tuesday. And that may lead to a few more rain chances next week, which does include Halloween, but a lot can change between now and then. But for the most part, still going to be gloomy today and then slowly getting better towards the end of the week. But notice those overnight lows are still going to be actually colder than what we're seeing this morning. So afternoons will get better, but some overnight lows will get cooler as we will dry up for the most part over the next couple of days.
Well, I did switch on my heat already because it got a little nippy last night.
You held out until just recently?
Yeah, just now.
Good for you.
Yeah, it wasn't bad up until now, I feel like. So, hey, here we are. Yeah. And with the 30s lows, yeah.
Yeah, this is for real.
It's
getting chilly.
Real deal. Yeah, gonna need that heat. Well, coming up in the morning sprint, a man is being charged with stalking Wisconsin's top Supreme Court justice.
If you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, we'd love for you to send us a picture. We'll share it on TV. 6:54, time for the morning sprint.
We're now getting a look at new video from a crash on I-3990 that killed one person and injured 4 others. Wisconsin State Patrol says the SUV involved was traveling southbound when it entered the median and rolled several times around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. This caused parts of the interstate to be temporarily closed. The crash is still under investigation.
This morning, a Racine man facing charges accused of stalking Wisconsin Supreme Court Chief Justice Jill Karofsky. Officials say 37-year-old Ryan Thornton had sent at least 9 emails to the justice, one asking for her home address. While being booked, Capitol Police say Thornton then said that Thornton was, quote, going down and that he was angry over a court's decision on an appeal to a domestic abuse case.
A possible upcoming summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin appears to no longer be in the works. The White House had talked in recent days about holding a proposed in-person meeting between the two leaders in Hungary, but officials now say there are no longer plans for a summit in the immediate future, and President Trump told reporters he didn't want to waste a meeting.
A government shutdown now officially in its 4th week. Senate Republicans gathering with President Trump at the White House yesterday, calling on Democrats to pass the spending bill necessary to reopen the government. Democrats say they won't budge until Republicans address their health care concerns, which include extending Affordable Care Act subsidies and reversing cuts to Medicaid.
Today, city officials are focusing on a proposed bridge near Perry Street to enhance connectivity between South Madison neighborhoods and businesses. This evening at 6, they'll present potential routes and discuss safety and traffic improvements in a Zoom meeting. You can register on the City of Madison's website.
And here's a final look at the 7 to 10 day forecast. Warming up a little bit for the end of the week and also drying up. We'll have high temperatures near 60 for the weekend. So all things considered, not too bad. We are going to see some chilly overnight lows, especially Thursday night, where we could see temperatures drop below freezing. And our next chance of rain will be next week, and we could see a few on and off rain showers next week, so the temperatures cool back down a little bit.
Jacob, thank you. Coming up next is more CBS Mornings. Our next newscast is at noon.
And we're always streaming on Channel 3000+.
Have a great day.